RuneScape.
Well, what you would do is you'd create a female character,
right.
and you'd dance for money or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, there was people didn't know back then. This was something that was really exclusive to me. Is there was a thriving gay community, and so I used to hit that market pretty hard and made quite a millions of GP doing that.
So what did this gay community look like on RuneScape? Like, what does that actually mean? And
Rainbow party hats.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't even know. It was just.
was it like
They were just male characters, They didn't really have many gay. Party hats. And
But was it contained into RuneScape, or was it like a forum where like the gay community would chat about RuneScape, or like was it all just
honestly,
in-game?
I'm fucking with you. I was.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was never a gay prostitute.
Gay prostitute.
I was trying to you were asking me too many details. I was like,
This is
I was never a gay prostitute.
This is
part of
either he's
your
full of
character.
shit or this is
Yeah.
very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, no, I was never a gay prostitute. I was you learn about a lot of things. Like I said, prostitution. I lost my RuneScape. I learned about sex a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Used to take people up in the Varrock West
Yeah.
Bank and used to
Wait,
have
Jay,
sex.
you know about this?
I know about all this shit, man.
Yeah.
RuneScape
You lost your
wild.
virginity in RuneScape?
In RuneScape.
We had
yeah.
sex actually.
The
Yeah.
two of
Me and
you?
Raj,
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That's how I found out about him.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize it
I was
such
a female.
recap.
He had no idea.
Yeah. And then after
Oh,
check
so
out
it
my
was
Twitch.
straight. It was completely no homo.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
I mean, so yeah, RuneScape was what, kicked off your career, basically.
Yeah, it did, and I'm so thankful for it. I mean, they've been amazing. That whole community was amazing, and so I did that from 2013 all the way, I'd say about until 2017, roughly.
It makes sense, the transition that you made from RuneScape to what you're doing now, because you were very entertaining. You did the talent shows, all of that sort of stuff.
Oh,
It was-
thank you.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I never really even played the game. Like
Yeah.
I never played the game. I would just literally walk around, Varrock or Falador or whatever, and I would just bring people into TeamSpeak or
Yeah.
remember Ventrilo back then?
Oh, Ventura.
Yeah. So I used to bring them in and we would just chat and talk and troll and do whatever,
Right. So it was really about community the whole time. And it was about interaction with like strangers on RuneScape and
Yeah.
seeing what fun you could make from all these internet people.
Because no disrespect to RuneScape, it's a fun game, but to watch, I feel like it's more. I think the personalities are what make
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a grindy game.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of looking at the same thing and clicking the same thing.
Yeah,
all the time.
absolutely. Yeah, so it's just like, how can I make clicking a freaking tree for,
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is
Yeah.
which is really smart because like RuneScape had a huge audience, but
Oh, yeah.
like obviously,
Sure.
and I'm sure a lot of them would just like to watch gameplay, but adding something else on top of it,
Yeah.
it was kind of similar for us. I mean, we always played like CS:GO, but
Yeah.
it was never
Never
about
about the game.
CS:GO. It was
Yeah.
about jokes. It was about like
Yeah.
comedy and the CS:GO what get people to click on the video,
Yeah.
and then
It's the backdrop.
it's the backdrop for
Yeah.
something bigger like entertainment, I guess.
Yeah.
Very
No,
cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I did that for a few years, and then I went over and I started doing role playing and stuff on Twitch. So I did a little role playing. Had the character Raj Patel in role playing servers, GTA role play, Arma
Right.
3 role play. I did that for a period of time and had a great time doing that. Probably some of the most fun I ever had streaming was role playing.
Right. Just playing characters and
Yeah, it was just a
Fucking people.
blast. Improv and
Where did the Raj Patel character come from?
So we have to go back a little bit.
Okay.
We'll go back. So 2013, before then, I grew up in a predominantly Indian community, and one of my best friends, still best friends to this day, we used to do prank calls, and my friend came up with the name Raj Patel to do these prank calls with, and we would
Right.
alternate doing this voice. And so he would start, and we would do the prank calls, and then I would go, and then I started taking that voice and I put it on the internet, and I started trolling people in Ventrilos and TeamSpeak, and it caught on, and people really thought it was fun. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep going with it.
Keep going
you know?
with it, yeah,
Sure.
of course. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
That's
It's-
right. So that's where it all came from. That's where it all started. That's where it was conceived.
Were you
know?
always outwardly Raj? Did you ever break character when you were
Never.
first doing it?
No.
For years, I never
Yeah.
broke character. I stayed in character.
I was convinced
Yeah.
that he was Indian.
Yeah.
Most people surely were convinced.
Yeah, no, there were plenty of people that were convinced. There was people to this day are still. I'm like, what do you? I don't do that at all anymore, And
Yeah.
there's still people. To
So
this
hard
day.
thing to shake. You know?
Yeah,
'Cause
no, it is.
It's your name.
Yeah, my Twitch channel's name is Raj Patel, you know. But I did spell Raj incorrectly. It's not the Indian name. Raj with
yeah.
2 J's is not how you spell it.
Yeah.
Raj with 2 J's is actually Irish.
Shit.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So there's your loophole. In case
Yeah, it's a
anyone-
loophole. Yeah, just in case anybody.
You're not
is
Indian,
Raj
like,
supposed to be
Irish.
spelled with an H?
No, I think it can be. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's with 1 J, I think, though.
Okay.
Typically 1 J. Raj, RAJ is like the typical spelling. Maybe it is spelled with 2 J's, but from what I understand, I don't know.
What is your fondest memory from like the RuneScape days? Do you have like a special moment like on the server or any kind of bit that? Well, maybe Jay was had in mind. I don't know.
What's your favorite
Mine-
memory, Jay?
mine-
What's your fondest
Well,
memory?
I remember you were. I think you were walking around. It's gonna make no sense to people that don't play RuneScape. You were walking around the Camelot sort of area by the magic trees, and you had someone's mum in the call, and you were singing to her.
Oh, yes, I did sing to somebody. That was my thing back then. For some reason, I always liked to bring people's mothers into it.
Yeah, it was fucking
Yep.
hilarious.
And I think you're talking about the time when this guy's mom told me not to swear.
that was it. Yeah.
He said, "Don't swear. Please don't swear."
Yeah.
And I sang Hallelujah, and I improvised some song for her.
Yeah.
And as the song built up to its climax, I just
Went off.
unloaded like a bunch of expletives.
Yeah.
And she ended up actually loving it. So he was,
Right. So everyone won.
yeah, everybody was fine. It's probably
Awesome.
on YouTube somewhere,
For sure.
I think.
It's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Were you watching that live back then?
Yeah,
You saw that live?
Yeah, 100%. I'm a big fan. Like,
That's so weird.
it is weird.
That there's still people out there
Yeah.
that.
Sick.
Of course, man. I mean, if you have an audience, then,
I guess they're not dead. You know?
they haven't died yet.
Yeah.
You're
Your
still
shoulder.
standing.
I'm still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, I feel like is kind of one of the only ones out of all of us that really like, was heavy into the Twitch community. Like,
Yeah,
growing up.
no, I was massively into that. I was the people spamming in chat, like before the BTTV emotes, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's just spamming lines of shit. that was
Dude,
that was
it's
me.
the best. It's
Yeah.
the best chats, man. You got to spam lines of just whatever you want.
Yeah.
Spam. I've always loved fast-moving chats.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You know.
Raj Fire.
Yeah. Oh God, I used to do that all the time. I used to take Bonfire, by Knife Party,
Mhm.
and I used to I would cut out the bonfire, and I would do Raj Fire.
Right.
It's kind of cringe,
It was
but hey,
awesome
we were
fun.
younger back then,
It was a different time on the internet.
Yeah. Raj, well, yeah, the Austin, the Raj,
yeah.
I started back in 2018, so this happens after the role play. I went, I was kind of at a crossroads. I was like, do I even have a future on Twitch? I had about 1,000 viewers, and I was 23, 24 years old. I was like, is this really what's gonna, am I gonna be able to sustain a future with this?
Right.
And so I went back to, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to RuneScape, and I'm going to do what I used to do. So I got together, and I started inviting people on my stream on video and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that progressed into sort of curating that into actual, shows.
Yeah. There were debates, if I recall.
Yeah, so we have
debates.
we used to debate and argue and stuff, and so we
Yeah.
built a podcast around it
Yeah,
called the
that was
Raj Royale Podcast,
Yeah,
and
that
it's
was
it's an elimination based, but based on the audience. So the audience votes
Huh.
for who they want to keep, and every round
Yeah.
somebody gets eliminated by the audience, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So
Were people surprised when you did your face reveal? Like, what was the
Oh, so-
reaction like?
I'm so
after?
sorry that the it's not linear.
Oh,
so
okay.
I actually did this is weird. I did a face reveal back in 2017. But
Right.
then I still continued to do the Raj because people still wanted it. I still
Yeah.
continued to do the
Yeah.
Raj character.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay. So when you did reveal your face, and people, I presume most of them were under the impression that you were Indian. What was the reaction there?
Well,
Was it-
actually, most people, I had prepared people. I had dropped a bunch of hints, and so
okay.
nobody was really shocked by it.
okay.
But they, it was a pretty, it was a pretty. Everybody was really supportive, and
Nice.
nobody really. I was expecting.
I think people respected it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you nervous about revealing your face? Was that like a big
Oh,
step
dude,
for
I
you?
was terrified. I
Really?
was so terrified. I did a face reveal in Los Angeles actually, and I did it in some hotel near LAX, and I was so nervous. And I was really awkward too on camera for the first time too.
What were you nervous about? Just like people not liking your face, or was it about
I
like
just-
being a public person? All
I
of a
just
sudden?
don't know how to move on camera, you know, like what
Right.
am I supposed to do? Like how am I supposed to move my face and
Yeah.
just like sitting there and seeing them
Yeah.
looking at you and it's just like that, you know?
Swagger's
That was
piercing
terrifying.
gaze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raj, a little stare down.
Yeah.
Do you ever miss the old days?
You know, I actually think that these are the best days right now.
That's a good way to be.
You
We're
know,
always
like,
living in the good old days, dude.
yeah,
that's
because
true.
I find that like, you know, we always think of the past as better than it actually was, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the past, everybody tries to relive like my old RuneScape days. And those days, when you probably were in the days, they probably fucking sucked. If you were to compare them now, like they're much better now, in
Yeah.
my opinion. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, I mean, I love what's happening now with the show. So, you know, it progressed, you know, from 2018 to, you know, slowly but surely we curated into shows and started bringing on guests, and it started getting really popular.
When
Tell
was
us-
the first Rajla?
The first Rochler was January 2019.
And who was it with?
Slicker.
Ah,
Slicker
Slicker.
first.
Hey,
Yeah.
I just
he
met
he
Slicker.
just got partnered.
Yeah,
did.
congratulations.
Congrats to
to
Slicker.
Slicker.
It's about time.
He's been looking for it for the longest time. It's been a meme on Twitch. On
Yeah,
Slicker.
so
great.
it's great because Slicker came on that show. This guy was making £7.25 an hour,
Yeah.
working as a guy at a cell phone shop.
Yeah.
And he comes on the show completely raw. And then what are we, like a year and a half later, and he's a Twitch partner with thousands of subs, sometimes 6 to 10,000 concurrent viewers. I mean, the guy has made a career for himself. So.
It's
Killing it.
amazing.
Twitch can change people's lives for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And the thing about Twitch is that kind of anyone can make it as
Yeah.
long as they
Yeah.
have like some kind of drive or something that people want to watch. You know, it's such
Yeah.
an interesting platform to me.
Yeah,
It's very
absolutely.
spontaneous.
Tell me about Titty Tuesdays.
Oh, God.
Yes, I was gonna actually
Swagger.
ask the same thing.
God, no. it's just- so I ran a show a long time ago on Twitch called Titty Tuesdays. And for the record, I've matured quite a bit since then.
Well,
but
what year was this?
This was like 2013.
yeah,
14.
guys. So yeah,
Yeah,
fuck you.
Titty Tuesdays. I call
It
it.
was
TT
before. It was
Tuesday.
before there was even like titty streamers.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
that was
it
even like a major thing.
we
He-
invented it.
He
Actually.
set the trend.
Yeah,
He
no.
set
So
the
we had a
trend.
show called TT Tuesday, and honestly, it was a, you know, for its time, it was actually really popular. Had about, I think at the time it peaked around 8,000 concurrent viewers,
Yeah.
and it was pretty popular. And I got banned from Twitch for it for 60 days because it was pretty raunchy, like
Right.
really raunchy.
Well, with
and
a
not
name
something-
like that, dude, like Titty
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Titty
You
Tuesdays.
couldn't have called it Tata Tuesdays. Or
No,
something
I
like
was
that?
I was going right for it.
Fuck, you
I
might
wanted
as
it
well
direct
full
as
send
possible.
that.
Yeah, I full sended it.
Yeah.
So no, but I mean, you know, some of those things I'm not really necessarily super proud of, really, you know, anymore. But I mean,
I
it
think
is-
those are still things to look back on and say,
Yeah.
"Wow, I grew."
Yeah, I learned a lot from it. Like that Twitch ban taught me so much.
Mm.
You know, that experience, you know, taught me so much. So I'm happy that it happened. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then I was able to learn and understand some of the things I was doing. Not only was it maybe not okay, but it was like it actually kind of held me back. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what was really not okay about it, other than the fact that like Twitch has guidelines? Was it
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
You thought it was awesome?
like I don't think there's anything wrong with raunchy content or anything to be embarrassed about. Like so much of comedy is raunchy or out there or
Yeah.
outlandish or weird. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like some of the best things kind of are.
Yeah,
what I
I mean, there was just moments in the show where it's like, it was just so raunchy that it was so low hanging that it was
Right,
just like,
I see,
it's
I see.
fucking stupid, you know.
Yeah.
Like if it's raunchy and it's like creative, like your Nazi joke, that's not even
Yeah.
raunchy though.
Well,
No.
explain the Nazi joke.
Oh, yeah,
because
sorry,
Swagger
I'll
had
put
a
that
very
into context.
successful.
Yeah, I was on
Rauncula.
the Rotular. There was this one streamer. Who was it? Little Allie?
Her
I
name's
think it
Little
was?
Allie.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
She basically said like, "I'm really good at taking orders. I'll do whatever you tell me." And I said, "Wow, you'd make a really good Nazi,"
Yeah,
which was fucking amazing.
great.
Yeah, and
And,
that's a
uh,
good use of the joke, and I freaked out.
Yeah,
for some
yeah. He
reason.
freaks out.
It's
He's
'cause
like, "Whoa,
Raj's
whoa,
a
you can't
TOS
say
frog.
that."
I'm a
Yeah, he's like,
TOS frog.
TOS.
Yeah,
That's TOS. And I was like, what? I can't say Nazi? And you're like, no, you can't do that. I was like, yeah.
Why did I say that?
And I said,
very
yeah,
funny.
man, Twitch mods can really be Nazis about it.
Yeah, and then so you kept clapping your hand. So little
Yeah.
context.
there was a bit with Casey Tron.
Yeah.
Every time I clapped my hands, that was her signal to hit a bong, and so she was constantly smoking throughout the entire.
Yep.
The
Was there a
entire
bong
episode.
count?
There was no bong count. I don't think.
It must have been over like 50 at least.
Yeah.
It was
So
insane.
what you didn't see, because I was off camera, is every time he'd clap his hand, I'd take a hit of my pen.
If I knew that, I wouldn't have been clapping so much.
Yeah, no. So
I didn't know you and Casey
Just giving
Tron
you a
were in
round of
some kind of
applause.
quantum entanglement.
No, so you kept clapping your hands, and I just kind of got into the rhythm, a little bit, and so I was really paranoid.
Yeah, dude.
So you said Nazi, and I had forgotten what had happened
You were-
preceded that moment.
You were so fucked towards the end, and I realized because you said like it was between Casey Tron and Mia Malkova for the winner, and
Did I pull a Harvey? Or not? Did I pull a Steve Harvey?
yeah, dude.
Yes.
He literally messages me. He goes which one wins? I go which one? I go Mia Malkova, and he says like Mia Malkova wins, like 3 question marks, another 3 question marks, and I'm like yes, Mia Malkova wins, Casey Tron loses, and I'm typing this in DMs, and he goes and the winner is, and he goes Casey Tron, and then he just stops, and he's like no, Mia
Yeah, I
wins.
didn't take it back.
And the worst bit is, just before that, he goes, "I don't want to Steve Harvey this."
Yeah, dude. It was hyping it
I
up.
completely set
It
it
was
up.
hyping it up as well.
My mind was working in that moment. It was whatever thought had gotten into it was the only thing I had remembered.
Don't say the wrong answer. Wait, what's the wrong answer?
Yeah.
Casey Tron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said it. Yeah, it was. But it was a great show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yours
dude, it
was
was
very funny.
fantastic. It went off like without a hitch. I just made the cut.
Yeah,
So,
Well-
you didn't. He didn't find the love of his life.
No.
Fitz
Dude.
didn't either.
No.
dude,
But-
Mia said that she would have fucking changed it. She said if she had the option, she would have changed it.
You
And that's
still
a W.
lost.
It doesn't matter. It's still a W, dude. I'm filming Shagger holes. Fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Well, we
Yeah,
do.
dude.
We have Mia Malkova coming on the podcast literally tomorrow night. And
Yeah.
it's all because of the connection you guys
Chances
had.
are the Mia Malkova podcast will have come out before this
I
one.
imagine so.
So yeah,
Maybe they'll be back to back. Who knows?
maybe
That'd
they
be
will be
spicy.
That's
back
right.
to back. They will be cool.
So the Raj podcast is tonight.
The Raj podcast is
Yeah,
tonight.
instead of-
That's
So
right.
hers is coming before, but it's filmed
It's-
tomorrow.
We don't know what order.
From
it
the
needs to be, like,
future.
We have no
we're literally
idea.
just in LA, just filming like 2 podcasts a day, just like guess.
Yeah.
But
Gotta use as
we're
much
very-
out as
yeah,
possible.
We're very glad to have Raj.
You guys
become-
are workhorses, you know that?
I don't think we are. We're very
Nah.
lazy. We're very
Yeah.
scuffed.
Hey, speak for yourself.
We're sort of just like, I guess, trying to get as much work done around as much bullshit as possible. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah,
sort of,
our problem-solving skills are very, very good,
yes.
but our work skills are not.
And our skills of getting ourselves into problems are even better.
Yeah,
right,
dude.
absolutely.
As long as you can dig yourself out of a ditch
I
by
guess.
digging a bigger ditch, then yeah, it works.
It's all good. You'll
guess.
just worry about it tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
That's
And when you wake up, smoke, think about it, maybe sleep on it,
Yeah.
think about it tomorrow.
Just keep putting it off, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's healthy.
You hear that, guys? Keep putting it off.
Yeah.
You know?
Keep putting it off, guys.
Exactly.
right.
Just keep
Keep putting it off.
procrastinating and listening to the Misfits
Procrastination.
podcast. Sponsored, as always, by gamersubs.gg.
Gamer subs.
Get yourself some gamer energy.
You won't procrastinate
Lead-free.
if you sync that
Hey,
shit, dude.
That's right.
Mason, what are you wearing? What is
What
that
are you wearing,
T-shirt?
buddy? What is that?
This is the United
You wanna-
Nations.
you wanna-
United
The
Nations.
Scuffed United Nations? You
Scuffed
mean
United
the
Nations.
merch that you can get at scuff.store?
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
That's
Dude,
incredible.
That's incredible.
At Scuff.
Can I have one of those T-shirts?
You absolutely
course.
can. We'll
Oh,
set you
thank
we
up.
have a
set
bunch
you
in the
up.
other house. for
Hey,
you.
show the-
Do I have
show
to
the-
go to
show the camera your
scuff.store?
selection
Can I
today.
get it?
No, we can order
Yeah.
that for you.
There you go.
But if you would like to get
Yeah.
one,
You know what?
Get up on the table. Get up on the
What
table.
are we doing over here? What's going
Show,
on?
show, yeah, there you go. Oh, Jesus.
Careful.
Oh my god.
The table's plastic.
That
Audio
table is probably about how much?
I
Too
ju-
much.
I ju-
Too much. would
Marble
break
Just for
my
the
heart.
audio listeners who didn't see that, Mason just tried to stand on the coffee table in front of
that a
us,
crack?
and he might have just broken it. I don't know. But,
Oh yeah, that is.
Oh,
Fucking classic fresh
Oh.
crack there.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's all right.
I mean, it's
It's
not
alright.
cracked
It's
at
not
all.
real marble.
It's good.
It's all right. This isn't real. This isn't.
I'll tell you
nothing
what.
is-
I know you're gonna give me a scuff shirt, but I will go to scuff.store for the experience.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
smart.
That's
That's
what
smart.
I like
gonna
to
go
hear.
through the
It's an
purchase
incredible experience.
Because I think that that's part of the fun.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
dude.
You get to go on that site, look at all the high quality items before you get to put it on.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Frankly,
Raj-
it's insane.
Raj knows how to plug
I do.
the sponsors.
I
Raj-
do.
Raj is gay, so he knows about fashion.
That's
he
right.
knows his
Well,
shit.
mostly gay.
Look what he's
Mostly
wearing,
gay.
dude.
I know. Look at this.
It's a
Look at this
fit.
He's
fashion
fucking,
statement.
dude.
He
How
does
many-
look great today.
Straight up fit, dude.
How many
Do you
people
like
can-
that denim on denim? It's a wrist.
It's-
Yeah,
but-
no,
It's a
works.
risk,
It is a
but
risk.
it's working.
I like the wool collar.
Yeah, I love that
I
too.
feel
Yeah,
like
dude.
the wool collar is what splits it up from feeling too denim-y.
That's what
Yeah.
it's what makes it more.
I'm happy it
palatable.
worked out. I
It
got
did.
You know, I'm really not like I usually just kind of wear Adidas sweatpants, or in a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Every show I do, you always see me. You know, I always turn around and show my my ass a little bit, and then I
Squat for subs.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
squat for subs and stuff. But I'm pretty relaxed most of the time.
Right on. Maybe it's because of the weed.
That might be it.
Have you always been a big weed smoker? Or?
You know, contrary to popular belief, I'm really not too big of like I don't drink. I don't drink at all.
Fair.
But
fair.
more recently, I've gotten into weed a lot more.
Right.
Mm.
And so, but not always. First time I ever smoked weed, holy shit, it was fucking. My friend came over, my Indian friend, the same guy that taught me to.
How
do
old
the
were you?
I think I was 19.
Mm.
19 years old, and he's like, "Dude, come over."
Dude, my Indian friend peer pressured me to smoke weed for the first
Really?
time. Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
Man, it always
Yeah.
happens like
the one
that.
you talked to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he. Did you like? Well, anyway. So my first.
Go you first.
Sorry,
bro. You
okay.
first.
So he takes me and we smoke out on a deck and we smoke out of a bong and he is like, just take hits. So I take a few hits and I'm coughing and we smoke like a bowl. And
Yeah.
this is my first time smoking weed. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden it fucking hits me. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. You know, I'm like grabbing for things, you know, because and so I ended up like being paranoid as hell. I
Yeah.
kicked him out of my house.
Was it just the two
Oh,
of you, or was
no.
it like a party
It
situation?
was just the two of us.
Okay.
Oh
Well, you
no.
kicked him out of your house? You're that paranoid?
Yeah, I was that paranoid. He's like, dude, chill, just listen to music. Remember that song, Sail?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
big stoner music back then.
Yeah.
And,
Right. It's not a very calming song, though. I
no,
guess.
dude, you're fucking scaring the shit out of me.
Holy shit. Fuck
So,
that.
Anyway, and then I took edibles one time.
No.
Edibles are the worst.
Oh,
No, edibles are bad.
So this is my first time because I smoked it. I was like, oh, I didn't really like it, so I take.
Yeah, I'm
This
just gonna take edibles with you 14 times. before psychoactive.
Fuck.
So from the same guy, like a little cookie this big. He's like, eat half of it. I'm like, okay. So I eat half of it. I go jump in the front seat of my car. I'm driving along. I'm like, there's nothing hitting me. What's going
Why
on?
are
This
you
ain't shit.
driving?
Immediately tried
What the fuck?
So
What the
because
fuck?
because they told me there was a delay. You had
Sure.
about an hour to get to hit you. So I drove about 10 minutes down the road to a friend's house. And maybe we should cut that.
No, we're keeping it in.
fine.
It's funny.
The timer counts.
So anyway, I drove about 10 minutes, and then we got in my friend's car. We were being responsible, you know. So my friend drove, who wasn't under the influence, and I was in the back of this van, and this was about an hour after I took the edible, and all of a sudden we were talking, and all of a sudden everybody just looked at me like this,
Really?
and I was like,
What, you're imagining this?
I was like, in silence, everybody looked at me.
They're just staring at
They're
you.
staring at me. I'm like,
I feel weird staring now.
I'm like, what the? And they're like, dude, what did you just say? And I'm like, I don't know.
No, that's
I was
terrifying.
so fucked. And then all of a sudden, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I didn't know where I was. Like, I lost like all my spatial
Yeah.
recognition. My body was like, I had like this incredible body high.
Half of an edible?
Half of an edible.
You must have been fucked, man.
I was fucked.
Oh my goodness.
And the next day, I woke up and I was still high and decorated the whole house with Christmas decorations.
Shit.
Was it Christmas, or were you just still high?
No, it was. Yeah, it was.
it was like July.
It's like July, like
It was, yeah.
I would pop the tree up. you
It's
know?
like, fuck it, it'll look nice.
No, thankfully it was Christmas time, and so
Oh, good.
Very good.
Good.
yeah, so I decked the halls, and it was beautiful.
Oh, you were on
It
the
was
weed
jolly.
last night with Travis.
Oh, what? I was.
You-
Oh yeah,
yeah,
last night
yeah, you were
Travis
getting-
had some shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
For a little guy, the man can pack it down.
You can pack it. Travis
pack
loves to
down the
smoke. Travis
weed.
loves to smoke.
I love smoking with Travis.
Yes. Well, Travis is just adorable. He's kind of like the best smoking companion because he just makes you laugh, you know.
It's all good
Companion.
vibes,
And
dude.
he loves laughing as
He
well.
looks cozy and he just smiles all the time.
Yeah. Well, how did your night with Travis go? Like, what did he give you? What did he
Let me
feed you?
just tell you something. Travis is probably the cutest guy I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
He's just the
adorable.
cutest human being that I know.
He's
It's
adorable. He
He's
radiates
adorable.
good
You just want to
energy.
give him a hug.
Yeah.
You know?
Until he feeds you a dirty
Until
joint. And
until he gave me something last night, and I took 2 hits of it. 2 hits. That's it.
2 puff.
And right now,
Two
you know, I
puff,
feel
yeah.
pretty comfortable smoking, and dude, it fucked me up.
yeah.
I had to hang in the back of the room, you know, the lunch club, and there was a bunch of, you know, Schlatt was there, and I had to hang back in the back of the room, and I was like, had to, you know,
Everyone just
kinda-
starts staring at you again.
Yeah.
What did you just say, bro?
What did you just say, dude?
PTSD.
Now you guys are gonna use that to fuck with me every time I get stoned.
dude, it's
That
happening.
that cough lozenge I gave you, that was an edible. You're about to.
It's LA.
That would be fucked if like you guys
Oh,
just gave
no.
people a cough lozenge or edible, and then in the middle of the
Would you
podcast it just
imagine?
hit them all of a sudden. You know.
Imagine like actually dosing somebody with edibles against their knowledge. That's illegal.
That is bad.
That's illegal and actually terrible. But if they had a good time, then you know.
Well, the closest thing that happened was that time in TwitchCon when I was told it was like 10, and it
Yeah,
was
that-
actually like 100, and I was just fucked up for like an
Some
entire
guy-
day.
100.
Some guy
Yeah.
gave him and Bucks 10 milligram, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, it's only 10 milligrams." They're like,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They had one; it was a fucking 100.
Yeah.
100 milligrams.
I think what
Yeah.
didn't you eat like 3 or 4?
No, it was 100 total. But yeah, basically, we found out like an hour later. Myself and my friend Bucks, who also consumed one of them.
Yeah.
And I remember just being downstairs with him, and we just looked at each other like, "What are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna die?" We weren't high yet, but we were just expecting the onslaught, the paranoia.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But the truth is, I didn't actually really start feeling it until like the next morning when I
Yeah,
woke up.
you
and
were
I-
asleep.
and I had to like, I just woke up in a state. I'm like, what the fuck? And then
We were on a
someone came in my room like, yo, you have to get out of the room in 40 minutes. I'm like, okay.
What the fuck is going
Got
on?
in the shower.
yeah.
got
We went
dressed.
on a party bus, and he was asleep the entire time. People were drinking and smoking. And
Yeah,
You were
he
just
kinda
passed
he was
out.
asleep.
Honestly, it was
asleep.
like everyone was partying. There's really loud music. Everyone was dancing, having a good time. And then you see Fitz at the front of the bus just
I had a blanket.
Asleep,
I was just
curled up.
cozy,
Yeah.
just out of it, bro. I wasn't. I could not talk to anyone. If you want to see footage of that, you can check out our TwitchCon deleted scenes video or whatever it was called. The
Forgotten Moments.
Forgotten moments. That's right.
God, that's such a great. I'm gonna go check that out.
Thank you,
I'm gonna
Raj.
go check that out.
I love your enthusiasm. For
Thank you. No, I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it.
He's not even subscribed.
In fact, I'm gonna go check this out.
Yeah?
Even though I'm here and I'm experiencing.
I think
I'm
everyone should just check it out again after
Yeah.
they're done with it.
Yeah.
That sounds
rewatch
great.
this
Yes.
over again.
maybe watch it on YouTube, then listen to it on Spotify,
Yeah.
then go to the Patreon, watch it there.
Oh, okay.
And then you're
okay,
done.
Okay.
You,
we're good.
you really do need to get the full experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
While you drink
Take it
some
all.
gamer stuffs.
Take it
Oh,
all.
And wear your Scuffs.store hoodie.
Okay, enough. We're taking it too far.
Like podcast.
Let's get everything.
I want to know about like what you think of the Twitch community, and I mean that more in terms of like what you think of the sort of circle of streamers. Like, what's it like being a part of like I don't know the big Twitch guys? Like, what do you
Oh
think
man, am
about
I a
it?
big Twitch streamer?
I,
Fitz?
Yes.
you are
Yeah,
kind of. I
yeah,
guess.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
you've been in the game a while.
Undeniably.
Like,
It's weird. I don't think of myself as a big streamer, but
I feel it differently. I feel like with YouTube, obviously there's plenty of YouTubers with over 1 million subs and plenty of people everywhere with audiences, and I guess the same is true for Twitch. But Twitch definitely feels like
It feels like more of a family.
more of a family, a little closer. Like everyone kind of knows
Yeah.
each other. Like once they get to a certain point.
yeah.
Like what is your experience being growing on it? What do you think of the site? Like what do you think of?
Well,
the
I mean,
people?
I've had a great. Twitch changed my life completely.
Yeah.
You know, like I was set to be like a software or some sales guy, probably. You know,
Right.
or an accountant or something like that.
Did you study before you got into this?
Yeah. So I've got a bachelor's degree.
And
Oh, you're educated.
Yeah, I'm educated.
we
Yeah.
couldn't
What?
tell.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe. I cheated my way the
Yeah,
entire
normally
way. No,
gays
just
aren't
kidding.
educated, right?
Is that what you're trying to say, Fitz? Is this
I- I-
homophobic?
okay,
Is
that's
this
fine.
what this fucking bullshit is about? Fuck this shit. No, but
Did you have a job before Twitch?
I was a waiter.
Same.
I was a terrible employee.
Same.
Terrible employee. I'm so lucky that I'm so fortunate that I have this job. Is because I was a terrible employee.
What do you mean by that? How bad were you?
I mean, God, I was a waiter, and I just would. I was just rude. 'Cause people were rude to
Fair
me,
enough.
you know.
Right.
And people would be like, "This is disgusting," and I'd be like, "Oh, you want me to go back in the past and change it for you?" I just didn't. I started to get really
very
grumpy.
sassy.
Yeah, I was getting mad because
Right.
it was.
Sassy gay waiter.
Yeah, yeah.
The ultimate final boss.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're a waiter in America,
Yeah.
and waiters in America get fucked,
Yeah, they
right?
get
'Cause
shit on.
it's
Yeah.
like $2 an hour.
Well,
or some
especially if they're not nice and they don't get tips, I suppose.
Yeah, right. And
That's
so-
your mistake,
Fuck.
perhaps.
well, they weren't gonna tip me anyway, fuckers. They were
Right.
gonna tip me.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I was. I mean, I was pretty nice, like I'd say. But like, I had my limits where I was just terrible. I like people would, you know, piss me off, and I wouldn't do anything like bad or anything.
Yeah.
I was just like, I had a little bit of an attitude, you know.
Mm.
But like, there was times when I forgot that I had like some family thing that I had to go to, and I'd like take off for the weekend. I just check my old voicemails, and it's like my boss is like, "Hey, where are you?" You know,
Just didn't show up to
it's
work.
just a terrible employee.
Was it a fancy restaurant or?
It was pretty fancy. Yeah, it was a pretty upscale place.
Yeah, I had a similar. How long did you do it for?
I did it over the summer. You know, every time I come back from college, I'd be a waiter,
Yeah.
and but you know, I was excited and enthusiastic. But like with any minimum wage job, I'm sure there's people out there that can relate. It just kind of you become just jaded.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, I mean, customer service I think is a rough.
It
It's
is.
a rough gig. Yeah, I mean, I worked as a waiter for a year in quite a nice restaurant. I remember it fondly because the good thing about having that job, and I was fresh out of uni, I was very young, like I didn't know where my life was going. But the good thing about that job is that once you're done, like you're done at the end of the day. And you can just go socialize or relax with your friends, and then, you know, you've still got to go back to work the next day, but like you don't carry home any responsibility. It's not like you have to think about like your waiting job, like or anything like that. So it's kind of like a carefree time for me, like I guess.
I agree with you. Like, there's some things that like you always kind of when you're like younger and you always like want more and more and more.
Yeah.
You kind of do. I do reflect back on like the times when I didn't. You know, I was young, just kind of. Well, I'm still young, but like. Like a teenager, and just like didn't have any worries. Just all I had to do was focus on school. And all my parents always told me, they're like, "Oh, this is the best times of your life. You're always gonna look back on these fondly." And then at the time, I was like, "Oh, I want to grow up and have my own money and everything."
Yeah.
And now I'm like, "Damn, sometimes it feels nice to just maybe just not."
You just want to kind of recede. Yeah,
Exactly.
go back.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but I love what I do anyway.
Yeah, I only had one experience at that job with like a really belligerent customer, and I think he just didn't like me for some reason.
It was me.
It was Toby.
it?
Yeah.
It's like how we met.
Is that how you
Yeah.
met?
No, it was just this guy. I think I just maybe messed up his oyster order in the entree, and he was just having a bad day, and he just decided to just take it out
What
of
did
me.
he say?
I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was very insulting. Like, he commented on my appearance. Like,
What?
whenever I came back to the table, he was just like snappy with me, and I had to like go to my manager before the mains and just be like, I'm not comfortable.
I'm about to beat
Go-
the shit out of this guy.
I'm not comfortable serving this guy.
What
Like,
did he go after with your appearance, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, he just told me like a tall, lanky fuck or something like that.
With
I'm
a
pretty
big
sure.
cock.
Yeah, like
Tall,
He's
fucking
not
handsome.
insulting.
it was quite
So
awkward for me.
fucking tall and handsome.
Yeah,
Big
tall,
cock.
fucking handsome.
I don't know what
Less
he said.
genetics.
It was something, and it hurt my feelings at the time, you know. And I don't know. I just had to get away from that table, and someone else took it over for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can kind of get his point because being tall as a waiter was uncomfortable. I had to constantly
To
like.
just loom over people who
Like,
are sitting
I just
down.
wouldn't hear what they were saying to me because they're all the way down there, and if I'm walking
Yeah.
past, I'm just like, I can't fucking hear a thing.
I remember going to his restaurant once, and
I feel
he
so
had to
awkward.
crouch down for everyone.
Yeah, I kind of learned the technique to kind of like squat down and like
Yeah.
get a little more intimate with the table.
Did the girls give you numbers ever? Did you ever get numbers?
No, dude, I got no numbers as a waiter from
Really?
any of the customers.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Because I was ugly.
and gay.
Still ugly. And gay. Girls know, you know. Girls
Yeah.
know. when
They
you're
probably
gay.
thought I was gay as well. you know.
Probably.
The fun thing about being a waiter is that every table you can kind of be a different person at. You can kind of like put on a different show. You should have tried out some of your Raj material at the.
I
at
should
the
have.
tables,
Yeah.
like, you just,
I'm sure that would have played really well with the guests.
like sometimes like especially towards the end of my waiting job when like I kind of knew that YouTube was taking off and I was slowly losing hours, I would just fuck around with tables, and one table I would be a British accent, and then like I'll turn around and be American like at the
What?
next one and
That's so
stuff,
sick.
and just like
Damn,
fuck with them.
I never really had like I never knew when the job was gonna end.
Yeah.
Cause like I went back to school and then I just didn't come back the
Mm.
next summer so I didn't want to like burn my bridge, you know, too badly.
Right.
But yeah, it was an experience,
Mm.
and I respect the hell out of people in service
Oh,
industry.
Yes.
because of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I was
Especially,
never
yeah.
rude to service people before, but now I'm even more conscious of like, okay, and like people don't understand like the totem pole. Like, why are you taking it out on the waiter
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
waiter didn't cook the food?
Very true.
Yeah.
And even if
Yeah.
the cook made a mistake, people make mistakes. You know, like come on, give them a break.
You definitely have that newfound appreciation for people in the service industry when you've been
Absolutely.
there, right? Anyway, I asked you about Twitch, and we're talking
Sorry,
about being a
we-
waiter.
Sidetrack.
On a sidetrack there. Yeah, like how do you feel about this? Have you always had a very positive relationship with Twitch? Has it ever like? I feel like Twitch can be such a stressful place sometimes, especially as someone who's new to it. Like it's kind of anxiety-inducing getting in front of all
Yeah.
those people every day and having to like, keep a stream going.
Yeah.
You ever like struggled with that or?
Yeah, well, should I start with the relationship with Twitch part?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so like my relationship with Twitch has always been pretty positive, I'd say. You know, they had to put me in my place when they banned me 60 days, you know. They had
That's
to
a long time too.
It was a
Damn.
severe punishment.
What did you do during that ban?
I was like it was like a period of self-reflection and like the idea that everything that you work so hard for and love so much could be ripped away from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to like I could have been banned permanently. I
Wow.
could have banned I could have had my partnership taken away. And
Wait, so you didn't actually know it was 60 days until the 60 days was over? It wasn't like
no, they told me it was
Oh,
60 days.
okay.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I was thankful that I wasn't, but like that idea that everything was like on
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because like I got this call that I was banned like at 3:00 in the morning.
Fuck that.
that.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
waking
worst.
up. It was like the most terrifying thing. And like I'm like, hey, and the guy, my partnership guy at the time was like, hey man, I can't do anything. This is above me. You're done, sort of thing. Like that was the sort of thing he's gonna try.
Wow.
And to this day, he stuck his neck out for me, and because he did that, I got a second chance, and I haven't had an infraction since. And so that's why I'm like a TOS guy, is because
Yeah.
I'm so, and maybe I'm over the top sometimes.
No, I understand.
You
I think
know.
it made the bit funnier.
No, I'm not going back to the
Back to
bit. I was like, I understand like when I'm over the top and stuff, but
I think it's good to be a TOS guy.
you think so?
I suck at it.
Yeah.
I suck at
You're
it though,
just being,
because I'm very vulgar, like
Yeah.
with my wording and shit.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been banned for, Mason? What's
Oh,
your like, little history
God,
there?
I've been banned like 5 times now.
No, it was like
But-
Being Australian.
It wasn't,
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't all my fault.
I
Like,
know one was you were playing Arma and someone started screaming the N word, and then you started yelling, "Shut the fuck up!" Like yelling it into your mic just to try to cover up
Yeah.
the N word.
yeah,
And then you ended the stream, then you got banned for it. I think it was like what?
I think it was for hate speech though.
Yeah, dude, but that's bullshit because like you weren't fucking saying it. You were trying to
Yeah.
run away.
I've
The guy
been
was
banned for
following
hate speech like 3 times, I think.
you. Yeah, and I think you said what? You said
The F word.
The
Yeah.
F word a couple times.
Yeah.
The F word
Yeah.
a couple times.
Any N word bans?
No,
No
no,
N-word
I've never
bans.
said it. No.
like a British
I'm
cigarette.
looking at you. Where he said the F word and we look in solidarity.
Yeah, but yeah.
God, well, I hope people know that like I'm mostly gay, so like people don't think that I was like
Yeah,
fucking.
and I mean, lesbians are technically faggots, right?
Nah, surely
And
not.
that's going on a T-shirt, I'm sure. That should be a presidential
Lesbians are
tagline.
surely faggots, right?
Lesbians are faggots too.
You heard it from us, not from Raj.
Yeah, I didn't
Twitch,
know.
not from
He's
Raj.
just I don't even know what you're talking about.
He doesn't even know what
I
that
didn't
word
even hear
means,
that.
guys.
Where's that pen of mine? Where's that?
I got you. Raj wants the weed pen again.
I do. I
you
got
getting
it.
nervous?
Yeah. No, I'm actually pretty relaxed.
That's
You
good.
know what? I don't know where it is.
No,
know where the
no.
weed
No.
pen
it
is,
was a
Raj.
pin hunt.
Oh, no. no
bitch.
for the Here you go.
Oh,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Saved.
That was close. Yeah, rip it right into the mic.
Wow.
Wow.
The audience probably just got like
You got a
third-party
second,
high
that
there.
secondhand smoke.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly.
Was there a meme about you having a Lamborghini for a while?
There's still a meme about
There's
me.
still a
having
meme about you having.
Do
Wait,
you
you
have
have
a
a
Lamborghini?
Lamborghini?
Yeah, we just drove here in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
sorry.
So not
yeah,
a meme anymore.
Yeah, no, but there was the meme that started and then
Yeah, and then I bought one.
yeah.
Or 3. No, I'm just kidding. No. So there's a meme that everybody called me Lambo Patel or something like that. That's what they call me. And there's this meme that I own a Lamborghini. And
How did that start?
God, I don't even know.
Is it just because you were successful, so they thought, oh,
Like, do you talk about cars? Do you
No,
like cars?
I don't
Okay.
talk about cars very much at all. I just think that like people thought that because I run this big Twitch show, and I think people think that I make millions of dollars.
Raj.
Yeah, when in reality he makes trillions.
Yes.
Raj started the rumor so everyone would think he's rich.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, that's what I started it. No, but so, I don't know who started. I think it was Hassan Piker. That son of a bitch.
fucker, Hassan Piker.
Yeah, no, Hassan Piker, really good friend of mine, by the way. But he started this this meme, Lambo Patel, like this idea that like I'm this out of touch capitalist. Sort of thing. sort of thing. And so that's how it started. And people, I think, legitimately believe I have a Lamborghini.
Hmm.
So actually, I don't.
Do you-
I drive a Toyota Camry with a twin turbo V8 with 450 horsepower.
Would you like a Lamborghini?
Damn.
Do you think you would ever actually unironically buy one? Let's say you have like $4 million in your bank account tomorrow.
Hold on, I don't. Camrys don't fucking come stock like that.
I don't know about cars, man.
Wait, what did you say?
I was just like,
Damn.
damn.
No, I don't.
I
I
have
don't
no
have
idea
a car
about
like that.
cars.
No.
I'm not a car guy.
What
I
was-
don't have my
what were you saying?
license.
Well, I was saying if you had like a few $1 million just hit your bank account tomorrow, would you like a Lamborghini? Is that something you could see yourself purchasing?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably stay pretty modest in my car choices. Like, I'd like probably like an upper end model of some sort, like an upper end BMW, upper end Mercedes, Tesla, maybe, something like that. But never would I like probably go do a Lamborghini. I don't think.
Toby just gave you a dirty look. 'Cause
You think it's wrong of me not to get?
No, of course not.
You have a
I'm
Lamborghini?
just a massive car douche. I want people to stare at me.
Really? Do you have a nice car?
No,
What kind of car do you
I'm
got?
extremely poor.
What?
He's got a golf
You guys
car.
not paying him? What's that?
No, I just
Not
am
enough.
terrible with money.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, are you wearing the shoes?
What shoes?
The boots. the
Toby
Gucci
loves
boots.
buying clothes. You've always just kind of enjoyed buying things, I guess, in general.
I actually used to get angry with my mom for buying me expensive clothes.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, this is such a dumb purchase. Why are you buying me these things? And now I'm like, yeah, I spent 10 times more than you did, Mom. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
I don't like spending money on clothes. This is actually relative. This is all really inexpensive. Like, are we allowed to talk about brands?
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
It's literally like Buckle, American Eagle, Buckle, H&M. Like
Right.
they're really inexpensive. Like, this shirt's probably $10.
It just goes to show you that you don't need money to have style.
No,
That's-
I'm
You could be broke, dirt poor like Raj Patel,
Yeah.
and you could still look
For the
good,
record,
guys.
I don't have style. I found this outfit. I won the lottery. I put like in my closet lottery. I picked this out. It looked fantastic. I'm gonna wear this down. Like you're gonna see me in this probably repeatedly.
Yeah, it's gonna be your anime uniform.
Yeah, it's gonna be my
Yeah.
uniform, and then it's gonna get. Then I'm gonna, I really don't have a good fashion sense because there's people that'll like wear this one day and then like be in some like really cool outfit the next day, and I'm not like that. I don't know how
It's
to
like
do that.
Cryos.
Yeah, our
He's
friend-
got a
our-
sewing machine. He just
Yeah.
stitches shit together.
Yeah, people know how
Yeah,
to do that. I
actually.
don't.
Yeah.
Well, some people it's
Most
just
of
a
his
hobby,
clothes are custom.
I think it takes like a lot to daily put effort into your outfits.
Yeah.
I try, but mostly
Well,
I just
You look
See-
fantastic, Fitz. You know that?
thanks.
It's
Raj,
the
appreciate
thing is like if you can
Trying to get through.
build up a wardrobe, you can do it pretty easily. Like you can build a nice outfit pretty easily, but
Yeah.
to build something like crazy every day,
Yeah.
that's the people that it's like very impressive.
People who want to push the barrier. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Takes a lot of work.
What do you do for fun, Raj? Like, what are your
God, man,
hobbies?
that's a good fucking question.
Thank you.
Other than
Thank
crack.
you. God, you're such a great
Raj is
host.
definitely trying to get in my pants, guys.
I told myself I wasn't gonna hit on Fitz through the whole show.
Yeah.
It's just
Well-
honestly, it must be the weed. The sexual tension is just way too high. I gotta keep it professional. I'm
Just-
so sorry.
Just bouncing off of that before we get into what you like to do for fun, besides hitting on me, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our little moment in Boston at the
Yeah.
karaoke bar, because we haven't even talked about
Oh,
anything from.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
gotta.
right.
That was Pog.
So Fitz and I, we have a past.
We have some history.
We do have some history, and so it all came to a head in Boston, where
Magical
we
City.
launched our music career.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
they called our name, and we were prepared for the moment. It was a big stage at that.
Thousands of people.
Lots of people.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people.
Yep. No,
Hundreds
we're
of thousands.
We were
Yeah.
at a karaoke,
We're at a karaoke
bar
bar.
with
Yeah.
like
Well-
maybe 10 other people there.
well. What happened was we sort of. I was expecting it to be a very small, casual dinner of like mostly just the core
Yeah,
group and
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like a couple other people. Just gonna get like a quick bite to eat. I was very cozy and extremely high going to this dinner, like way too high for
You
like.
were gone.
And I walked in, and there's like a table of like 30 people, like lunch club
So
were there,
many
and so many
people,
people, and,
man.
and Raj came along, and
Yeah.
and but like so I was kind of like weirded out at first and a little uncomfortable, but then I got into dinner and had a couple
Yeah.
drinks and things were going well, and Raj was sending me looks from down the table, and I was like, okay,
I
well.
slipped him a couple.
And as the night progressed, people were swapping seats, and like all of a sudden we didn't even know that it was a karaoke bar. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
me
no
and-
idea. He just
Yeah.
started singing.
this
Yeah.
guy just started
Yeah.
like DJing songs and inviting people to go up and do karaoke. And Mason and Jay went up
Yeah.
for well, yeah, you guys.
They,
went
they
up.
were our opening act.
That's
yeah,
right.
we went up first. We were extremely drunk.
Yeah.
And me and Mason went up and sung "I Want It That Way." What is it? That's what it's
I
called,
want
right? I Want It That Way.
Or that way, maybe.
That by the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful performance,
It
Mason.
was
How'd you feel?
absolutely fantastic.
I hate singing, but
But you did a
whatever.
good job. He did a good
I
job.
tried, so
You were
that's what
just fucked
matters.
up enough to
Yeah.
get up there. And do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And
It was really
you
good.
full sent it. You
Yeah.
did a good job.
It was fantastic.
It was. And you did another song as well, didn't you?
Venga
Oh,
Boys.
God, that one was a bit
Boys,
awkward because I'm pretty sure no one was listening. And it was just us.
Well, it was like our massive table, and then it's kind of like a few drunk boomers in this.
Yeah.
Such a
It was
hype
pretty
song, but
great.
such a letdown crowd. Except
Yeah.
for all you guys. You guys,
Yeah,
were
you
the
guys
only
are
ones
Oh, we were clapping and
doing a decent
supporting. You
job.
know, like the whole table was.
No, I think
geeking.
they were talking about our performance.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, yeah, our performance. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
I was thinking, there's no way in hell I'm getting up there and
Yeah.
singing a song. There's no way. But then I don't know if it was you who asked me, or if someone was like, "You and Raj do a song." But
Yeah.
So
I instantly knew when
Jay was trying to convince Raj to get
I was
up.
pestering Raj. I was like,
and
I know
Raj
you can
said,
sing. I
"I'll
know
get
you
up
can
if
sing.
Fitz gets up."
That's right.
Yeah.
You said, "I'll get up," and I said, "Well, how could I possibly,
Yeah.
refuse this great
Yeah.
offer, this honor?" And we're thinking like, okay, what are we gonna sing? Like, what's a good song? And then I think like, "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" by Elton John. Great song, especially for a duet, because it kind of like, "Don't go breaking my heart," and then like,
How couldn't if I
yeah,
tried?
so it bounces back and forth. So
Yeah.
it was, I was a bit nervous. I
Beautiful.
was looking up the lyrics on my phone. We were going over together, doing a little rehearsal at the table, and then the moment came. My name was called.
And we did really well.
I
thought it was
think
You
so.
did
good.
amazing.
You guys
Yeah.
did do amazing.
I mean, I looked back at the story and I was like, man, I look fucking awkward. But like, I was genuinely pretty confident up there. Just like, yeah, just like vibing, you know, like, just don't
Yeah,
go
you
breaking
guys
my
are
heart.
killing
What's funny is I went to check Twitter afterwards,
Yeah,
and how tall? You're like 6.
I'm like 6'6".
You're
yeah.
like
Like
6'6",
9 foot?
right?
Yeah.
And so everybody on Twitter was like, "Raj is so short."
Yeah, welcome to my world. dude.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Cam.
Sorry.
Yeah, and he's like,
sorry.
and I'm like, dude, you realize this guy is like 6'8", and you were wearing heels.
I think I was wearing boots.
Yeah, dude,
You're
you wear
wearing
the
boots.
boots
Yeah.
too. Why?
I just like to add to the ego. I don't know.
Yeah, so you were like 6'8", 6'9". So and I'm 6'9".
They're not that big.
Yeah,
heels.
pushing 7
So
foot.
you were 7 feet 2 inches tall, and I was wearing, I was just wearing my normal stuff, and I standing next to you, I'm 5'9", so you were like virtually a foot taller than me, and I'm average height, but like
It was adorable. It was
Yeah.
adorable. It was just a moment. We were riffing, off each other, singing this beautiful Elton John song.
yeah.
And honestly, when it was over, I felt both extreme happiness and pride, but I also felt sad because the moment had passed. You know.
Yeah.
But you know what, Fitz? There's gonna be a lot of moments, like that.
Okay,
in
So
the
cute.
future. Sorry.
Every time Raj's in town, it's just karaoke.
Yeah.
From now on. No, I mean obviously we're just fucking around and
Yeah.
overplaying the story. But it was
Yeah,
a very
no,
fun night.
it
It was
was
a fun
fun.
night.
There's an aggressive love
I'm not
triangle
gay.
here.
I'm not gay, guys. Like,
No, no homo.
I don't know if
bro.
you've
I'm
noticed.
straight male. Like,
Fitz and Raj love each other, clearly.
yeah,
But
like as bros.
every time they talk about it on Twitter, I like to swoop in and show
Yeah.
a huge barrel of lube to Raj,
To-
just to keep his options open.
And then I tell you, you might need another barrel.
Toby is constantly undermining my attempts at flirting with Raj on Twitter.
Well,
and
it's
I can't
because
stand it.
I want him.
Oh
Okay,
my
well,
God.
I want to be on Raj's Rajla, and I'm going to win.
Well,
Oh
you'll
my
be,
God,
you'll be
there's so
pleased-
much sexual tension here.
You'll be pleased to know, Toby, that mine and Raj's relationship is strictly personal as we are trying to pursue this music career.
Yeah.
together,
Okay.
so.
We're very professional.
It doesn't seem like it.
Well, we're working on it.
You can't be professional off the bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you do for fun besides
What
karaoke?
do I do for fun?
You gonna say Mace?
No, I was just gonna ask who you want to see like in the future on Rajula. Like,
Oh man, that's a good
who
one.
who
Very
could you
good
like?
question.
Who do you want?
Who would be like your number one guest? Like maybe even like a mainstream
I'm
celebrity.
gonna
if
be
you could get
honest
them
with
on.
you. I really want a gay Raj Tiller, and I think who none other the best gay Raj Tiller I think that I could think of would be James Charles.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Pop,
That'd
yeah.
be
He's
insane.
looking for someone.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, he's
He's public about the fact that he's on Tinder and stuff.
Yeah, he's trying to date, trying to find a soulmate. I met him today.
You ran into him today.
I
you
ran
did.
into him this morning.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I think that there's a big shortage of. Well, how was that? Sorry, I just interrupted.
No, it's
your
okay.
moment.
There's a big shortage of what?
No.
How are you? What was that?
I'm such a selfish
he was just
asshole.
calling
You know
you
that?
short.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, I
fuck
see.
you, my show. Here, let's bring it back.
I think
No.
Raj said too much of the pen.
James-
Yeah,
James is good.
you
I
just
read
brush
it.
over the fact that you met James
Yeah.
Charles. No, go
I
ahead.
had to
tell-
go to a shoot at some warehouse this morning. It was like an interview kind of thing, on the way out, someone goes, "Hey, this is James Charles," and I was like, "Oh, can I meet him?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure. Here, we'll bring you out front." And then I go out front. I'm leaving, and I see him. I'm like, "Oh, hey, James." And he's like, "Oh, hi. How are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm great, man. How are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm great. Yeah. Oh, yeah."
I love the voice. I love the voice.
I was like, "Yeah, man. We played a Minecraft Monday." He's like, "Oh, yeah, Minecraft Mondays. Yeah. That was so much fun. I had such a good time."
What's with the yeah?
Dude, it's like the whole Yas Queen Slake type of beat.
see.
It was, but no, he was really good. He took some pictures, chatted some shit, and yeah, now he follows me on Twitter.
Yeah,
Hell
you
yeah.
tweeted it out today. Like,
Yeah,
what was the
I tweeted
caption?
it out. It was met this cutie in L.A. Heart eye emoji. Didn't get her at though. Twitter, do your thing.
Very funny.
Yeah, it was very funny.
That's a good tweet.
No, that dude, he was very cool, and he looks really good in person.
Yeah,
He's
no,
beautiful,
Yeah.
isn't
Dude,
he?
he's so
Yes.
beautiful. It's fucking crazy.
Mm.
So,
No homo.
oh yeah, thanks for
Look,
clarifying.
I like women, but I would.
Thank God he said that. God, I thought you were gay,
I was
dude.
about to read a comment.
It
I
was a close call.
Dude, we might have had to cut that out.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Oh, dude.
Never let that happen again. Where you let
dude,
it hang
I almost
for that long.
slipped, bro. I almost
Holy
slipped.
shit. Oh God. All right.
Anyway.
Anyway, there's a big shortage of gay dating shows.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they'd be awesome. I think it'd be awesome to have a gay dating show
That'd be awesome.
and a gay rush.
A gating show.
A gating show.
Oh my god.
That's right. I'd love to welcome him on. So maybe one day it'll happen.
Are there
Sick.
many big Twitch streamers that are gay? I'm trying to think. Like,
There, Dan's gaming.
God, I hope not.
Toby was just saying before the podcast how it's impossible for him to get banned, but he might be pushing it.
Yeah.
No. There's got to be.
There's and I would consider myself, by the way, mostly gay.
Mm.
I think people just call me gay because I'm so homoerotic.
Right.
You know.
Of course. Naturally.
Naturally.
I think.
Levy, I totally understand.
I'm just so like I literally probably exclusively talk about men
Dick and balls,
mostly.
yeah.
Dick and balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as far as sexuality goes, I feel like most people that are open to it are mostly one thing.
Yeah.
Like I say that I'm into women, but if I was really into a dude, I would.
It's
totally be
a
open
great
to that.
area.
Yeah.
And it's not like all.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. No matter who you are, Squarespace can help build a website that works for you. Say you're a business owner who wants to promote your physical store and sell products online at the same time. You can do that. Or what if you have a big trip coming up and want to blog about it? Squarespace's customizable galleries allow you to show off your latest photos, videos, and ideas as you go. Maybe you're a bit of a show-off and want to announce your latest post with an email blast. Or if you're feeling shy, you can make password-protected pages to share your work privately. And if you don't know how to code, that's no problem. Squarespace provides drag-and-drop tools so you can visualize your site as you create it. When you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/misfits for a free trial and use the offer code MISFITS to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Yeah.
There's still a chance.
Better get your fucking eyes off of my screen.
Right. What's your dick and ball preference?
Oh my God, this is an interesting
Do
question.
you like balls?
They told me they warned me about you, Swagger. They said that you would go into detail about this kind of stuff.
I'm a curious man.
Okay.
Curious George.
What is my dick and ball?
Your dick and
preference?
ball
What kind
preference?
of cock and balls do you like?
That's an interesting question. I don't really know. I think that something aesthetically pleasing, something that has the proper dimensions. you know?
Hairy?
What?
Hairy?
No,
Or
preferably not.
Perfectly bald?
Not
Slight
perfectly
curve.
bald. I
A
think.
little bit of stubble.
Yeah, I think to some degree we have to retain our,
But surely no hair growing up the shaft, right?
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
know that kangaroos' balls are in front of their veins.
What?
We just learned this today. We just did a podcast with Cody Coe and Noel Miller. God bless them. And
What the hell was
we also ended the podcast talking about penises and kangaroo penises. In fact, apparently the kangaroo's dick sits behind the ball sack. So the ball sack
Yeah.
just sits on the front.
I didn't even know kangaroos had penises. To be honest.
Weird as fuck.
Well, animals, I know it sounds crazy, but they do this thing where they reproduce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to have sex in order to
No.
do it. I know.
Imagine a
What's-
kangaroo asexually reproduced and just grows out of the pouch.
Well, I mean, I thought that they had there's some penises like fish penises, or there's like this one I think it's a duck or
A duck.
a duck penis.
Duck
It's like it's a
penis.
cork penis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
just talking about
because
Talking
the,
about duck penises.
yeah, dude, the duck vagina is like a labyrinth that
Because ducks are
it's like a
rapists.
maze. So ducks have evolved their cocks to rape.
Okay.
What?
Genuinely.
So
Pretty fucked up.
How does it work? Does it just like
I don't know. I haven't watched the video. I'm not that
you,
curious.
you ever watch duck porn?
No, no.
Really?
Not really into that either.
Duck, duck, go,
When
dude.
did you find out that you were into men? Like, or what?
That's a great question.
When he laid eyes on you, Finn.
God. Should we
Right
just
now.
leave?
There needs to be a meme where it's just, God, that was a great question.
Surely end on penis talk.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. I think it's just like a journey. I think you just kind of there's little signals through your childhood, and like growing up, and you just kind of find out slowly but surely through exploring that that's what you like, and that's just what happens.
I read the signals wrong.
Really?
I read everyone else's signals where they were like, "You're gay, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And took that and was like, "Oh, I must be gay, right?"
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Really?
Yeah, made out with a dude, didn't like it.
Really?
Wasn't fun.
Well, you should
I
try it
didn't even know
again.
you made out with a dude.
I've heard this story.
Did you not like it, Cam?
Yeah, well, I was asleep.
What?
It's a joke. I don't know. Did you find out in high school or was it after high school?
I was college, honestly.
Right.
College, like I just like wasn't interested in like swiping on girls on Tinder, and I was bored with it. And yeah, so I was just like, I'm done. And so I just switched over to guys, and I've been that way.
And that's when we met.
Yeah,
That's when
that's
you-
right.
Wow.
That's right. And then
Yeah.
he was so sick of me, he went to
Went to women.
yeah,
Decided to actually become one just to spite you.
yeah. That's it.
I just wanted to get as far away from Raj as possible, and I thought becoming a woman probably does that. Even though Raj, you're friends with a huge amount of women on Twitch.
Yeah, I have a lot
Yeah.
of female friends. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it actually helps because I'm not really like I'm attracted to women, of course. Like I've been with women before, but like I think it helps that I'm not attracted. You know, I work with so many female content creators, and I think that that's like an advantage that and
Keeps it platonic.
not only that, but I have a rule that I work platonically, except with Fitz, platonically with all people, all people that I work with, because I think it's important not to mix, what do they
Pleasure
call
in
it?
business.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I think
Sure.
I think it's wrong too.
What do you think about this new trend on Twitch in Twitch chats where people are saying simp?
Oh, yeah. I
What do
love
you
that.
think about the word simp?
Was simp actually invented for Twitch or was it?
No.
No,
Simp
I
is an old acronym.
Oh, okay.
It stands for suckers idolizing mediocre pussy. So it's like somebody who would put themselves beneath a woman in hopes of getting some poon.
What about suckers idolizing man pussy?
Mediocre penis.
I mean,
Mediocre penis.
So I think that simping. I'm gonna quote my friend Soda Pop in here. Simping's the new meta on Twitch.
It's a new cuck.
It's like the cool thing to do now.
Really?
well, I was
What, to
Farming-
simp or to
Yes.
be simp?
To like simp a little bit, like like simping. And God, people aren't. This is a controversial take here,
Yeah,
but I think simping in reality isn't cool. But like the meme is cool and fun to do. It's like fun to
Yeah.
do. Like I simp over Pokemon all the time.
I
I
had
call her my queen.
I had like a 2-month period last year where I farmed simp content over Pokemon. It was one of
Yeah.
my best months ever on Twitch.
Yeah.
God bless Pokemon.
Yeah. No, seriously, I'm a big Pokemon simp, and I actually, God, I don't want to like.
it's such an insult to the woman as well because it's calling their pussy
Uh,
mediocre.
it's just the meme.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just
of course
the
it's just a meme.
yeah, I
But
don't
in
think people
reality-
even know what the acronym stands for.
Yeah,
most.
Many people
well, I
don't.
just learned it, so
Yeah.
I like it. It's better than like the alternative,
Well,
like
the other
for
one
you.
was cuck, and cuck
Yeah.
was just like way too negative a connotation.
Well,
Yeah.
cuck's like slightly different because that's like watching
Watching your
your
girlfriend
partner get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
which hey, it's not bad if you tried it.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah, I watch
whatever.
Fitz fuck all the time.
Oh,
Oh,
do
dude.
you?
No, I'm not a cuck. I'm not a cuck. I don't
Let's
think.
just be very clear about that.
Why
not a cuck.
I did
No,
ask
I'm
you what your hobbies were earlier, and I think I've just found out.
Yeah.
Raj.
We haven't even gotten to my hobbies, have I?
Well, you don't have to cover them. You know, it's like,
What
do you have hobbies?
I'm a
Dressing
big.
up as Spider-Man.
No, that's not really one of my hobbies.
Yikes.
Wrong one.
Well, this is uncomfortable.
Like, what do you do for fun? Like to unwind after a stressful day hosting the Raj Patel
I
Show?
smoke weed and eat.
Relatable.
When I start to think about it, like people ask me, what are your hobbies? I start to think about it. I don't have any fucking hobbies.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Get a metal detector, like all the other old people.
Yeah, I should do that. Are you calling me old?
No, of course not, Raj. Of course not.
But I just realized I am a boring son of a bitch.
Oh no.
Surely not.
Here comes the midlife crisis.
Dude,
Just
I
gonna
know.
go out tomorrow
dude,
and actually buy the
I'm
Lambo.
balding.
You're
I have a
not
lot of Twitch
balding.
streamers
No.
lately.
I am.
Are you insane?
It's like a Twitch meme. Like all streamers are malding. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I'm molding. You're molding.
People said you're malding.
Yes.
Do you think your hairline's receding?
Yes.
It's not.
It definitely is.
Look at-
Look, it's
Dude,
definitely.
Fitz, it's not.
It's
Look at
nothing to
mine.
worry about
Look
yet.
at mine.
Yours is what? We're just two guys just being
Are you
paranoid about
hitting
your
on me?
hairlines.
The sexual tension right now. Is
I'm ending the
crazy.
show. It's been an hour. Is there anything that you would like to bring up or plug or talk about before we wrap things up here?
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter, twitter.com/RajOfficial with 2 J's. The Raj Show is live at twitch.tv/RAJJPATEL, where a lot of these people here, and we have a couple that still need to be on the show.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't think I'm ready.
You've been on the show before.
Yeah,
But-
but I'm not ready to have my own.
Give it time.
I
You'll
need
get there.
to
Give
Grow
it
some
time.
hair, get a bit more,
Yeah.
of a boost.
But yeah, look, I also want to say, I hope I have a little bit of time. It's been an honor to be here, and thank you for welcoming me on. And you guys are really awesome to hang out with. I hope everybody knows that you guys are really cool to hang out
Fuck
Thank
yeah.
Same
you.
to
Can I
you,
ask-
dude.
Man,
Yeah.
Same to
seriously.
you.
It's been very fun
Thank
getting
you.
to know you.
Appreciate it.
Can I
Glad
ask
we're
one
buzzing
more
now.
question, Fitz?
Go for it.
How do you choose the women that are on the Raj show?
That's a good question. I think we try to build a cast around, like, we try to build a cast that's, like, personal to whoever. So if Swagger's going to come on, we're going to build a cast to his preferences, as well as bringing on some notorious characters that are going to be able to drive some interesting content, you know. So it's a combination of things, but we really try to build, like, sort of something that's relative to the person, so we can, like, build sort of a narrative.
Where do
with it.
they come from?
The
Like-
ground. I crawl out of little molehills.
Like,
Just chatting, really, mostly.
so you
honestly.
just like find them on Twitch?
Yeah, so we have people that recruit for the show, and they've been found through just chatting also. And we look for not just women, men,
Yeah.
trans women, you know. We don't discriminate at all. So there's like we have an application sheet too that people fill out too. So.
Right on.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. Kick W's in the chat.
Yeah,
This has
kick
been
W's.
Raj Patel
Yeah.
on
Patel.
the Misfits Podcast, and we'll see you guys next
Hey,
week.
thanks for having me.
Bye, guys. Love ya.
Bye.
All right, Charlie, take us in. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the official podcast. This is episode 172. Today we're joined by a special guest, some ordinary gamers. Muda, go ahead and take the stage.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar. You know. Welcome to the official podcast. What is it again? Episode what?
172.
172. Jesus Christ. That is impressive.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know,
Probably
yeah,
one of the
been
longest
forever.
running YouTube podcasts, if I had to guess.
And the first.
Yeah.
One of the first.
And
Probably
the best. Most popular, too.
I can
Most
proudly
handsome
say
hosts.
this is the.
Oh,
This
God, I
is
was going to say the most handsome host part. Yeah, I agree.
I can say this is the only podcast I've ever watched like one of the episodes all the way through in my car. So you know.
Hey,
Feels
fuck
good.
yeah.
Wait.
Hell yeah.
You watched it all the way through in your car that you were driving?
Okay,
It's
well,
dangerous.
all right. Let me rephrase that. No, I didn't commit anything wrong in my car or anything. I followed all the rules of the road. I had it running in the background as I definitely followed. You know.
The road rules.
Yeah,
that's
look,
a
man.
little better.
Look, it was an hour-long drive. All right, I needed something to keep me up in the morning, and you guys kept me awake. All right, shit.
Yeah, how many times did you chuckle? Did you subscribe to that Patreon? You son of a bitch.
What
I
tier
didn't
are you?
subscribe
You're
to the
allowed in this
Patreon.
episode?
Huh? Which one? What?
Which Patreon tier are you? You're allowed to be on this show.
Oh man, you know I'm the God Patreon too, you know, like the really hidden one.
We used to
got a
have the
poster?
Messiah one, which is yeah.
Messiah.
There it is.
What perks did that come with? Shit.
Do we want to tell him what the perk was?
Should have been some OnlyFans style shit, dude, for being called the Messiah.
It
Kind of is.
genuinely was, yeah. Can I tell him?
Really?
Yeah, so no, Muda, we have a legacy tier. So these days on Patreon, they don't even allow you to have a tier above $15,000. So we can't even edit it, because if you try to edit it, it won't let you lock in the changes. We have a legacy tier for 50,000 a month of a poster.
50,000 a month.
Yeah, of a poster with my cum on it. So if you want that, you can have it now.
Well, let me
you want
look
it?
into my finances. Shit, that sounds tempting.
You
Fuck.
gotta rebudget your shit, man. You gotta get that. Take out a loan.
I mean, bro.
Second mortgage.
I've never found a more compelling reason to go into debt. Let me tell you.
It's up there.
You know, it's the perfect reason.
Dude, the economy's collapsing. You want to invest in art, right? Just find art, hang it on your wall, so it keeps its value.
They call Kaya's cum liquid gold for that reason. You want to keep it in storage.
I had the gold rush.
And also because of its disgusting color.
No, what are you gonna show me some fucking toilet paper like statues and shit? Invest in that? The fuck?
No, I didn't use toilet paper. That's why I used the poster.
Bro, that's what gets
I was
me
a
weird
pioneer.
about this whole That's what gets me weird about this whole COVID shit with like all the toilet paper running out of the store. I'm like, bro, just buy a fucking bidet at the end of it. Like, get your fucking.
Or just shower and use your hand.
Actually,
Yeah.
did you see that Amazon reported that bidet sales are reaching like record highs now during this time?
Really?
Everyone is actually buying bidets because of the toilet paper
So what I
shortage,
don't
yeah.
understand about this whole COVID thing is how is it tanking the economy when everyone's buying everything so much? Well, because all of sports are
Confidence.
canceled, all of entertainment's
Yeah.
canceled.
No one's going to restaurants or out
Plus.
to...
Yeah, but who needs that when the toilet paper industry is skyrocketing?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
China had
Everyone's
to
gotta
lock
wipe
up.
their ass, man.
They had to lock up all of their sweatshop workers, and China is like the world's factory, so the economy took quite a hit there. I mean, people are
Isn't
still
that
going
like
to
where
bars and
most of
shit.
the toilet paper is made, though? Isn't that like where the
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't
aren't you
know.
still technically buying COVID-19, like for your asshole from like
What,
bagged
investing?
up and sealed, right? Yeah, bro, dude. It's like
I don't know if
I
it
was at the Walmart. I was at the Walmart and it's just like pallets are gone, dude. Like everyone's just fucking
Yeah.
losing their shit. I felt like Michael fucking Moore when I went there yesterday because I'm just like, man, I got to take photos of all this shit, dude. It was crazy. Everything was gone. All of it.
It's
Nothing
insane.
was
Where do
there.
you live, Muda?
I live in Toronto, like just 30 minutes outside the city.
Toronto. Okay, yeah, I know
Yeah.
people there too. Yeah, this panic has spread everywhere. It wasn't here. I live in Hamburg in Germany, and it was we should clarify. I told Jackson before, we should tell people when we're actually recording this, because this thing is moving so fast that every single day, whatever we say, we're going to look silly the day after, just in case it gets even worse or maybe better. Today is the 15th.
Oh, it's definitely going to get worse.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So today is the 15th of March. We're recording at 11 a.m. Eastern, so, if we sound a little ignorant, that's for two reasons. One, we may have out-of-date data, and two, we are all retarded here, so... I went to my grocery store and I saw just people awkwardly arguing about who gets to have the last pack of
sorry,
three-ply.
is this Germany or Turkey? Just for clarification.
Germany, in Hamburg.
Okay.
So
Because
people are buying.
it's worse in Europe, right, than the Middle East right now?
Oh yeah, I mean in the Middle East, it really you really better not be in the Middle East. I am actually. So I'm all giggly and laughing and making jokes about this shit, but I'm almost certain my mother is gonna die of this, as are probably most of my uncles. I mean, sickness runs in my family. You know how they say old people, they're most susceptible to this, as are sick people? The old and infirm, so that's my family, basically, right? They're all fat, they all have diabetes. My mom she went through a bout of chemotherapy like 3 years ago. They're all just, once they catch that shit, they don't have good chances. And you guys know the Middle East. It's, where they swallow imam spit in an effort to cure the virus.
So you'll be the last Orson? You'll be the last of the Orsons?
Last man in Turkey,
Video
really.
game.
Bro,
Yeah, I should put that composter at 100,000 now. It's increasing in market value.
It's true. You're going to be the last of that DNA line.
I'm an endangered animal.
you should preserve your fucking DNA right now. Just go to one of those like DNA lockups and shit. Like this is
encapsulate.
Oh yeah, I bet everyone will love that. In the future, 1,000 years from now, some girl's gonna go to the fucking sperm bank and be like, "Yeah, I want that guy, that fucking shut-in, extremely introverted, semi-retarded, hairy Turkish dude. I want that cum. I want his children." I bet his was real great.
No, I love how we were all retarded early on, but you just saved yourself by going semi-retarded. Fuck that, dude. Listen, man, if we're retarded, we're all retarded equally here.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I am full retarded.
Does your driver's license say it? You have the little retard sticker on the car?
I should carry one like Joaquin Phoenix in Joker. I should carry a card that whenever I do something socially awkward, I can reach them the card and it just says, "Excuse me, I'm entirely retarded," as I'm laughing.
You have a little pie chart that shows what percentage retarded you are in relation to everything else.
It does. Excuse me, I'm retarded. May I have the last roll of toilet paper?
Oh, dude, that's a 300 IQ power move right
Excuse
there,
me,
dude.
ma'am. What percentage
That's the
retarded
least
are you?
retarded thing you've said so far.
You should be on my Siege team, dude. That's proper. I like it. It's that kind of thinking that wins games.
That stuff you brought up about the toilet paper and people panic buying, it has me more worried than the actual virus. I know the virus is very bad, but when I go to the grocery store and I'm seeing so many messages now in social media posts from like parents saying that they can no longer find diapers and baby food, for example, for their babies because some bitch bought it all up in an effort to resell it on Amazon for like 10 times the price. You're such an asshole. You are such a cunt.
Speaking of that, there's like, I don't know where it is in Canada, but there's a family. I don't think it's Toronto. I think it's like all the way in Vancouver or British Columbia or something, where this family or like this like husband and wife, they consider themselves hustlers. They bought like $77,000 something dollars worth of fucking hand sanitizer and shit, and they're selling it for like 4 times the fucking price. Like they're hustling.
That's illegal, right?
Yeah, do you guys have laws against that?
No, it's not illegal. If you buy it, you can resell it for whatever you want. Right?
Yeah.
It's scummy, but it's not illegal as far as I know.
No, it is
I
illegal
thought
in
it was
some
illegal
parts.
during like national emergencies.
I'm trying to find that article now. I sent it to Jackson earlier, but in some parts it is illegal. The New York Times just ran a headline called about a guy who bought up a bunch. This douchebag traveled all around the U.S. to buy up all the hand sanitizer. So if anybody wants to look this up, this from the New York Times says, he has 17,700 bottles of hand sanitizer and nowhere to sell them. So what this guy did is...
I got an article right here, the one that we're talking about. I'll just put it in the, like, if I can put it in somewhere here in general for you
You're
guys.
the first guest who ever did that.
Yeah.
That was polite.
Yeah, you're
really nice.
doing your homework. I like it.
You can put it in the show chat there. We have a specific channel to archive all this stuff.
Above the voice chat.
Oh, yeah,
So basically, this guy,
boys.
he bought all of the hand sanitizer and tried to sell it on Amazon for like, I don't know, he bought them at $2 a pop and tried to sell them at like $70 a bottle. Amazon cracked down on him. Yeah, 70 up to.
Holy
70.
shit.
So Amazon
So
cracked
right on
down
Amazon.
on them. Amazon specifically cracked down on sellers like that. They tried to crack down on price gouging, so did eBay. So now this guy doesn't have an avenue to sell this stuff.
Yeah,
and
but
apparently,
wait.
Yeah.
Amazon, from what I heard, Amazon is also in the act of price gouging, though. They're also selling these things for higher than normal rates. It could be automated,
But is
I
that
guess.
but is
It
that
could
like
be automated,
Amazon
yeah.
themselves
Automated,
doing
yeah.
it, or is it like the third party? Because I know it's like shaky on Amazon, right?
Yeah, I think it's probably
I'm not
third
sure.
party.
I assume that
Yeah.
basic Amazon algorithm would dictate that something that sells more gets slightly increased in
if
price.
demand
But
is
this
high,
guy,
increase.
he was trying to sell like at 36 times the price. So Amazon said, "Fuck that." And they put a stop to it and even threatened to delete his account and other people's accounts. And apparently now he's also in trouble with his local government for doing this because apparently...
That's good.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah. I think
but-
that is good.
The capitalization on this kind of stuff doesn't make much sense to me because I don't think the supply chain is ruined of hand sanitizer and toilet paper right now, right?
Well,
it's just that demand is exceptionally
Jackson,
high.
the thing
so they're
that
still
kills
making
me,
the products.
the thing
I
that
know
kills
that
me
like
on
they're
that.
emergency making the product. Like aren't pharmacists in like the UK just like
Yeah.
synthesizing it right there now because it's just fucking sold out everywhere.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not like there's no product coming into the stores anymore. So people are just gonna wait like a few days and then line up for toilet paper rations probably.
Yeah. See, Jackson, the thing on that though that just really gets to me is that the way that you prevent the spread of the virus is if everyone is cleanly and everyone keeps themselves hygienic and takes those steps. So if you're hoarding all the hand sanitizer or the hand soap or any of that shit, you're just making the problem worse because no one else has access to those materials.
Yeah, but you're safe, Andrew. What don't you understand? Yeah, you'll be the safest.
But that's the
final
funny
survivor.
thing. You're not safe. You're making it worse.
Just bunker your ass inside, dude. Fuck.
Sure, you're not spreading the virus, but that's
Make
more
a
people
fort out
out
of
there
toilet
spreading
paper.
it themselves.
Make
Listen,
a
bro,
wall.
you just
You're
gotta,
not
like,
thinking it through.
Just what if it was just a
bunker your ass in? And
what
then
if it's
Death
just a
Stranding
cartel
yourself
of
for the rest of it?
pranksters who want to TP every house? That's just their form of anarchy.
I'm waiting for a YouTuber or a prankster who gets a whole bunch of toilet paper and just burns it or something for views.
Dude.
That's gonna be the next thing.
Bro,
Burning toilet
Don't give them
paper.
ideas.
Man,
God damn it, no, it's gonna happen. Some fucker's
I
gonna
might
do
do
that.
that.
It's gonna be like 3
Sounds
a.m. in
like-
the woods, toilet paper burning.
Bro, times like this, I wish we still had J Station, bro. We could call up coronavirus and tell it to fuck off.
The
What do
last,
we do,
the
dude?
last stand.
So dumb.
Yeah, we got rid of our one guy. Fuck,
I am worried though. So how worried on a scale of 0 to 10? How worried are you guys about, say, getting quarantined?
Oh, well, I'm a shut-in, so it won't really affect me all too much. But I'm scared for my parents and grandparents.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, my job's already suspended, so it doesn't matter if you fucking quarantine me or not. Like, fuck it.
Well, when I say quarantine, it's it's not just you now have to just chill at home and watch Netflix. It's I only get to go out once a week to buy food. Right. That's the
I already do that.
Right.
really okay.